Welcome back to a special episode of Swajo Network.
This is my mom, Kelli.
Hi, and welcome. I'm excited to share with you a little bit about my business, Spot On Drone Services. But without my family, Taylor, my boys, and of course my parents, this would not be possible. We're excited to share with you how I got started, what my background is, and a little bit of advice for those that are interested in starting a stray run business as well.
Kelli, I am so excited for this episode. I think you have a lot to offer just in terms of like your education, literally in farming and educating, and then just how your family is so involved in your operation. And so this is a conversation that we have been excited for and just so excited to share with our listeners and our viewers. So we're just gonna start off, how did you get here? What's your background?
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to come out here this morning and for looking into this business and letting me share what it is that we do. So I was born and raised on a first-generation grain and livestock farm. My parents, when they got married, had the dream of farming together. And so it's been a blessing for me to get to grow up in this industry and see the strengths and of course, the hard days as well, the weaknesses. So my involvement in agriculture industry started at a very young age, and of course was a 10-year 4-H member and very active in FFA. Went on to Purdue University to obtain both my bachelor's and master's of science in agricultural education, and spent 15 years teaching agricultural science and coaching FFA. Before then, having the opportunity to come back to the farm full time, so farm with my family and start this drone business. So when you talk about family though, and this business particularly, it's, for me, the only reason I get to do this is because of my mom and dad. And I tell my parents that a lot. Dad, you're the reason I get to actually do this. Yeah. If you didn't want to farm and help raise us in this environment, my love for agriculture would have never been born. And so I credit being able to start this business to that, honestly, because I've had that experience growing up, and I feel like that's definitely been a blessing to me, and an advantage to me of being able to just grow up in the industry and develop the love that I have for it.
You really do describe yourself as an advocate. And so can you just hit on that? What does that mean to you?
Oh, absolutely. I think a true advocate to me is someone that, first of all, has a passion for the industry. And so when you have a passion for the industry, you're going to put everything you have into that passion. So for me, I have a love for agriculture and a passion for education. And so my goal is to give people the experience that they may not ever get to see. And so in the classroom, it was getting my students out of the classroom and connecting them with the industry. And I thought for sure, when I left teaching several years ago to start this business and to pursue the farming with my family, I thought my teaching days were over. And turns out it's not.
Yeah, you were just getting started.
I was, and it truly, it took me out of the four walls of the classroom, but this is my classroom now. And I get to share what I have learned and what this drone can do, what drones can do with so many more people than what I ever had the opportunity to do. So it truly has just expanded. So I had an individual stop yesterday. He happened to be on a local police department and on their drone team as well. He said, I've never seen these big drones operate. And so he hung out for over an hour, and we talked about how he uses drones and how I use drones, and comes back down to the same thing of just people are unaware. And so I love when people stop and ask me questions and they truly want to learn what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it.
What are the most common questions you get asked?
Oh, that's a good question. So a lot of times it's what is this? It's a drone, and what are you spraying? I get asked that all the time. What are you spraying? What does it do? Why do you spray it? Will it hurt me or hurt the crop? So I get that a lot. But a lot of times it's, how did you get into this?
Yeah.
And honestly, as a female, how did you get into this? And then, do you do this by yourself? I get that a lot. Do you do this by yourself? And that answer is yes. The majority of the year I do. So For me, it makes my financial sense to have someone help me during the really busy season, but the rest of the year, no, I run by myself. And so everything is adapted to me at 5'2".
That's what I was, because I was like, I look down to you. I was like, you're at least 6 inches shorter than I am. So I was like, how do you do this?
Yeah, it's, we've adapted everything. And I'll tell you what's funny about that is that's nothing new for me growing up in agriculture that way. My dad has had to modify all of our farm equipment to where I can drive it because I'm short. Now it has its benefits. I'm the one that fits in spaces that no one else can fit in. So it truly takes my whole family embracing this because it's not a job. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle.
It's not a job. It is. You told me you were up at 5 o'clock yesterday morning out in the field spraying. You spray late into the evenings. You're a mom of 2. Like, this is not a normal job.
No. And it's a lifestyle though. And I tell my kids that all the time, and they see that at this age. It's a lifestyle and it's something that I wouldn't trade it for anything. But that means putting in hard, long hours. But again, it's what I've grown up doing. And so I really don't know any different, I guess. It's just how I am. And I'm gonna get the job done. And you have to take advantage of the weather when you have nice weather. And anyone that farms knows that as well.
Of course. Okay, let's head upstairs.
Okay. We're gonna give you a quick trailer tour of how we custom built the trailer for me at 5'2".
So we start with the battery chargers and cooling tanks. The chargers themselves are actually mounted in an aluminum box, but up off the floor so she can get her feet under there and pull directly up on the batteries to remove.
More ergonomic for your body to do daily. So being 5'2", being able to maneuver the drones by myself was crucial. I do have help from time to time, but my husband being a custom welder fab guy, he was able to custom build me a cart to hold both the spray drone and then when I have the dry box on. Simplicity of it, you just lock the feet in, this swings out, pull the drone out. So I can do it all by myself, lock it back in, and then the concept was like a squat and a wheelbarrow. So I can just roll it where I need to roll it. Because again, ergonomics for me at 5'2". Taylor's gonna explain a little bit about the pump setup. So we kept it very simplistic. Being farmers ourselves, we wanted it simple. We didn't need to overcomplicate it. And so I'll let him explain that.
Yeah, for the pump setup, we're running a simple 2-pump setup. We're using a shallow well pump with the tank to move the water from the bulk tanks to the mixed tank in the cone. And then we're using a single pump setup to run the filling and the recirculation. So we have an automatic recirculation valve built into the system for when the valve is closed up top, it automatically recirculates everything in the tank. And then when you open it to fill the drone, it turns the recirculation off while you fill. We also have remote controls to turn the pumps on and off from the upper deck.
Some of my favorites with the trailer personally that we've added over time because I realized that it'd be helpful. So it's the little things. So there's a hose that I can string out and wash the drones off. I can wash my hands off. Same thing up top, you have a hose where you can hose everything off. I greatly appreciate that. Toolbox on the front for storage. This trailer, he also custom equipped with strobes. The truck has strobes as well. So any way you can get more attention to yourself. Same thing on the back. We're always moving equipment with farming and dealing with cars trying to pass when they shouldn't. So I had recommended putting some type of caution tape so where, again, if we can just get people's attention to where they can see this, that's better for everybody because we sit on the road most of the time, obviously. So those are some of the things that I particularly liked. Obviously recommend having like a fire extinguisher on board, eye wash station on board, or at least some type of eye wash solution, extra water, of course, which is mandatory. So these are all things though for us that have been very beneficial. I want to mention something about the generators really quick too, because a lot of people have the big diesel generators. These are super quiet generators. For me, they're easy to start. They're all push button. And so I literally just have to push button. If by chance they don't push button, it's an easy enough pull start that I can pull start them. The other thing I like about it is that I can swap them out. So if one would happen to burn up or go out, we can swap it out within the same day and still be up and running. So I do like that setup personally for myself.
So another one of the features that we put on this trailer that makes it unique, but we found a need for it, especially in northern Indiana, we're parking a lot of side ditches to get off the road. The drones, when they're loaded, they don't like to take off at an angle. So what we've done with the trailer is we've actually put electric cylinders in here, and then the whole top deck is able to level however you need to in the ditch. And that's given us a really good advantage on being able to park where we need to fly a field the most accurately.
So the reason I get to do what I do with the spray drone business, I have to credit my love for agriculture to my dad, so Kirk Hoffman. He has definitely taught me everything on the farm and has helped me get into this business. But I want to ask you particularly, as a lifelong farmer, what is the part that you enjoy most about this technology? It is the most technologically advanced thing that we have on our farm. What is it that you find the most enjoyable or beneficial about being able to run the drones on our ground?
We can experiment with our stuff and see what it's going to do and how it's going to do it before she goes out someplace and tries it, so we can get an idea what we're going to do here for it first. So.
And then you brought up a good point. This year, we did something with his wheat field because it was so wet this year that I ended up putting on your herbicide.
Yeah.
And so your observation with that then was?
No tire tracks. And then she does a fungicide, so no tire tracks. So we actually have a wheat field with no tire tracks in it. So
which, for an advantage for when we bale straw, is?
You don't have the green stuff in it where they run over it with the sprayer and stuff. And we would practice with herbicide a little bit the year before to make sure we had the patterns down and everything right. So it worked out real well for us.
I think that's a big advantage of being able to farm, having him as a resource with how chemicals work and how he runs the ground rig. And then we compared that ground rig application to my spray drone application in the same field. And then that gives me more to be able to use with my customers and making sure that we're doing an excellent job and coverage for them then too. Coming into this drone operation, I had a great background in agriculture, and so I felt confident with my ag knowledge and have leaned on my dad very heavily for the knowledge of spraying. He does all of the ground rig spraying for our farming operation, and so I had him as a great resource. However, I had to learn the drone. Drone technology was not my thing. Technology in general is not my thing, and I fly drones for a living, and so I started by taking a course through Purdue University to pass that 107, and then just continually started taking courses so that way I knew how to operate this drone as the best of my ability and to the best of what this drone can actually do. That also includes attending lots of different conferences and meetings throughout the year, any types of meetings that we can attend to get, of course, points towards our license. But I'm a lifelong learner, and I think that is instilled in me just as a teacher. And so I'm continually looking for ways to learn, and I'm always asking my customers then too on, for example, cover crop and making sure that we had great coverage and following through with them on just asking, hey, what did that look like when it came up, and do we need to make any changes? So continually educating myself and making adaptations and changes where needed. I have had several people ask that. How did you get started? How did you learn all of this? And what do you recommend? And so my recommendation back to them is, if you have no agricultural experience whatsoever, find an applicator in your area, go spend time with them, fly with them, spend time on the trailer, and spend a lot of time with them, not just show up for an hour or so. Truly see what it takes on the ins and the outs of that business and learn from them. So when I was a teacher, I always advised my students when they did their internship, I always told them, go get experience somewhere else first before you go back to that family farm full time. That way you can take what you learn and apply that on your family farm. And I think this is the exact same thing. Go find somewhere where you can get experience. And I love having people come out. I'm not an expert by any means. I won't ever claim to be, but I'll show you what I do. And this is what works for me. And I welcome you to come out and see. My favorite is when my customers come out. If they've never seen a drone operate, come watch how this operates. See for yourself what the coverage looks like. So I say the same for anyone that's interested in getting into the business. Do some research, determine if this is really what you want, if you're willing to put in those extra hours, and work hard. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not a 5 days a week. It's a 7 days a week and all hours of the day to truly make it work. I do think being a female in the agriculture industry has its challenges, but I'll say that's something that I've grown up doing. For me, my dad taught me how to run all the equipment at a young age, and my mom runs all the equipment. So I didn't know any different until people started asking, oh, you're a female in the industry, or just some negativity toward me. A lot of just not so polite comments on being a female and, well, does she know what she's doing? I feel like you sometimes have to prove yourself, unfortunately, and that you have the knowledge, that you have the skill. And so it's always my hope that when I talk to my customers, that when we have that conversation on, I've grown up farming, I was a teacher for 15 years, I taught crop science and actively farm with my family. I treat every acre as if it was our own acres. And I truly stand by that because that's exactly how I am. And so if that means taking 5 times longer to get the job done, then that's what I'm going to do because that's the right thing to do and that's how I've been raised.